Here we go! Hey girl, hey boy, superstar DJ.
Hello and welcome on into this Monday's edition of Movie News here at MB. We'd just like to thank you once again for joining us here on our YouTube channel and of course our Twitch stream. I'm one of your co-hosts, Stephen John McLaughlin, our other co-host, sitting with the blue cap on and the Adidas top. It's John C. Walsh. How you doing, John?
I'm doing splendid and tremendous,
yes.
Stephen.
Just like your little smiley face.
Yes, little smiley face. Smiley face, maybe a little bit happier in truth than I am, but I'm still happy.
It's the
Just
rain.
not.
It's the rain, isn't it? It's getting you down.
If it was 30 degrees and a beautiful purplish blue sky outside, I'd be much happier.
Well,
sadly, we're now into August.
Yeah.
And the dark nights are starting to come in slowly but surely.
That heat wave is far behind us now. It's in a rear view mirror, John.
Oh, we're getting another one next week.
Well, I hope so, because I'm off next week, so good timing again. I was off the last time with the heat wave, so maybe it's me. Maybe I'm a good luck charm, I don't know.
Stephen's a fucking secret meteorologist. Is that the correct word? I don't know.
Yeah.
Weatherman.
As you know, I'm not a sun worshipper, so it is quite grueling, especially when you get two mad daughters to look after on your annual leave. But John, we're talking about not domestic stuff. We're talking about Dolph Lundgren. We're talking about a Drago Spinoff. After Stallone's comments. Now, we've not covered Stallone's comments, but I will get to that as well. This is coming in from ScreenRant.com. Now, the reason I brought this up is I think it's a very interesting story, and possibly you and I have
looked at the next scene.
You've got the gist of it, John. And I think both you and I are probably get different views on this in terms of where Stallone's coming from. But yeah, Dolph Lundgren responds to Sylvester Stallone's adverse reaction to reports of a Rocky spin-off focusing on his character Ivan Drago and his son, as featured in Creed 2.
Yes.
Now, Lundgren has taken to Instagram to set the record straight on his involvement with a possible Drago spin-off. According to the actor, the project is merely in talks at this stage, and he was under the impression that Stallone had a hand in development. This is what he said
I'm
on
doing my right click thing on the mouse again.
Instagram.
Fucking hell.
That is. Just to set the record straight regarding a possible Drago spin-off. There's no approved script, there's no deal in place, no director. I was personally under the impression that my friend Sly Stallone was involved as a producer or even as an actor. That was a press leak last week, which was unfortunate. In touch with Mr. Balboa, just so all the fans can relax. There you go. Boof. Like that. This obviously comes after Stallone's doubled down on his initial comments with another Instagram post aimed at Winkler, one of the producers from the original films, the franchise, that mentioned how he allegedly had not received a phone call from Lundgren, who got his start in the industry after Stallone cast him in Rocky IV. The two have also worked on together in the Expendables franchise and will reunite again in the upcoming Expendables 4. I like the way they've said that there.
See what you did there?
Yeah. Expendables. That said, Twinkie. That said, it's entirely plausible that Lundgren thought Stallone already knew about the Drago movie. Okay. Before the leak, while it's comforting to know that the pair have lightly reconciled their misunderstanding, if they don't, they can sort it out in the ring once more. It's unfortunate.
Knock his head off.
Stallone is now dealing with the awful side effects of a compromise he made 47 years ago as a struggling actor. I don't know if we want to get into that.
Yeah, so I was going to get into that.
Yeah, well, I'll let you continue on, and then we can get our thoughts on the whole situation.
What reading this?
Yeah, if you want, yeah.
Outside of Rocky.
Yeah.
Various franchises from the 1970s and 80s. Bring this up and see if we can see us. That's just not going to work, is it?
No.
She's not going to work. If you bear with me.
Yeah. If you've got a backup there, John, if you want.
Yeah, I'll just very, very quickly do something here.
Yeah. It's interesting, though. It's very interesting. Bear with us, guys.
1970s and 80s.
Yes.
Have gone to court over control of character rights. For example, the rights to the Friday the 13th have to Friday the 13th. I prefixed it. Unnecessary. I assure you. Have reverted to screenwriter Victor Miller. They should never have ever been in existence. Friday the 13th is an abomination of a movie, in truth. And the scribes behind 1987's Predator attempted to take Disney to court. Again, a franchise that should have been dead after the first movie.
Yep.
Unfortunately, there's a bit of a theme emerging here. Unfortunately, the latter duo have never reached a deal with the prequel Prey landing on Hulu. By the way, that's meant to be incredible, that movie. I've heard unbelievable things about that prequel story of Predator. I think the Predator alien comes down, and it's a long fucking time ago. It's like Revolution era America or something like that. That sounds incredible, that concept. That's the kind of fresh thinking outside the box ideas we need to introduce to alien franchises, going off in a different direction. But it's landing on Hulu August 5th. At the time when every proven franchise expands ad nauseum, reports of a Drago spin-off shouldn't have surprised fans. What may be surprising is that Stallone has next to no control over the IP, his Rocky prequel series notwithstanding. On the other hand, and that sounds terrible by the way, Stallone's career wouldn't be what it is today had he not sold the rights. However, it's understandable to want one's family to inherit what someone created. Regardless, this guy's English is terrible. At least fans know now where Lundgren stands. I can't even see his name. I could say it no problem before the show. Amid all the drama outside the ring, Dolph Lundgren. Stephen, that's kind of the direction I was assaulting this from when you sent the article over. Just the snarky, bitchy comments from Sly over this. Now, I can understand from his point of view, he created this story, this character, the world in which Drago exists. So he's got a degree of connection to it, belonging to the characters. He's probably even thinking he was responsible for Dolph's career because he gave him his start in movies. And he's maybe been hurt by the fact that they're discussing this project without his insight, his say. But Stephen, it's not his franchise anymore. He sold the rights off.
Say though, it would have been nice, just even if he doesn't want anything to do with it, just say, just out of courtesy, this is what we're planning and doing. Do you want to come on as an executive producer, maybe a bit advisory and stuff like that? I don't know, John. But you're absolutely right. It's I take it as one of these sort of ownership things that over a certain amount of years and decades that it becomes public property once more, and it's up to whoever to obviously buy the publishing rights or whatever it may be, if it's music or film or whatever. I know that McCartney, his ownership over Rupert the Bear, I think's expiring soon as well, and Buddy Holly stuff as well. So
yeah, I mean it's
kind of similar, isn't it? I think it's probably the same for characters that you've created, and those IPs are then owned by the studio. You've got to remember as well, and Stallone has to remember this as well, that they took a chance on him. I always admire him sticking to his guns with that first Rocky script, and he wanted to play the main character, and it didn't go off. He didn't sell it for $25,000 or whatever it was back in 1974 or whatever, and he stuck to his guns to do that.
It was financial problems though, wasn't it, when he sold the rights?
He sold his dog. That's how bad it was to just eat.
Unbelievable.
And I've always admired that side of Stallone, but in terms of the business side of things, MGM, wasn't it? And Winkler, I can't remember the other.
Speaking of dogs, I'm just looking at my dog assaulting a Kong.
Yeah, I was wondering what that noise was. Maybe over time these become property of the studio, property of the public. I don't know how it works, John, but it would have just been a courteous thing to do. Just Listen, this is what we've got planned. I think they know that Sylvester Stallone wouldn't have been for this spin-off. I think Creed is as far as it, in his head, as far as it was going to expand, I think.
Yeah.
You know,
it's quality control as well.
Yeah.
When you bring in Michael B. Jordan to play the son of Apollo, and you bring in
Yeah.
Tessa Thompson, and you bring in some brilliant directing talent in the likes of Stephen Caple Jr. Now you've actually got
Coogler,
Michael
yeah.
B. Jordan directing Double Duty,
Yep.
the third movie. You know you're going to get a degree of excellence. And the story's there. It's a tragedy of Apollo, his offspring, that connection with Rocky, the Bullet Brothers. He has this sort of, I don't know, longing to be a father figure to him, because he probably holds some guilt in his heart that he didn't save his father.
Yeah.
That's a natural continuation of the Rocky Balboa story. With Drago or Drago, I don't never did get how to say it. I think it's Drago, isn't it?
Yeah, I
Ivan
think
Drago.
so, yeah.
There's not that
Ivan
level of
Drago.
connection to Rocky, Stephen.
No.
He comes into his life, he creates tragedy in his life, and then there's also the mission, the revenge story, the ending of the Cold War.
Yeah.
But there's no real connection, that aside, with Rocky, and we explored it in Creed 2.
Yeah.
So that's really the end when it
John,
comes
that's
to
what I was
Rocky.
going to say. I was
So
go-
it really comes down to how you view this world,
Yeah.
this universe that's been created. Is it Rocky-centric and characters close to him, or is it something more meaningful and larger? Because if it's the latter, then absolutely the studio, Lundgren and everyone involved has the right to explore those characters, what they're doing, and maybe different timelines before, after the events of Rocky 4. If you view it as a more Rocky-centric, characters close to him, then it shouldn't be happening. Plain and
Yeah,
simple.
very much like Mr. T, the Clubber Lang character that they were going to do for the third Creed film. It was going to be some relative of him, his son, and I went, no, that's terrible. Don't do that. And you're absolutely right. Maybe taking it off in a different direction, it may work. But you know, as far as I'm concerned, Ivan Drago, it was always a two-dimensional villain. That's what he was created for.
Yeah.
It was just mid-80s, the Cold War, as you said, John. It was East versus West kind of situation, and this is how they were going to resolve it, over a boxing match in Siberia.
It's almost as ridiculous as David Hasselhoff bringing down the Berlin Wall.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, but
If you've been fucking there playing music, he certainly didn't bring down the Berlin Wall. The people brought down the Berlin Wall.
yeah. No,
Let me tell
not
you.
even those red speedos. But I think that's as far as it should have went. I think they were kind of stretching it with Creed 2, if I'm being honest. Watching Creed 2, it was an interesting film, and it was interesting to see where this character was now, you know, after the events of Rocky 4. But it wasn't what we needed. We didn't need Creed as a franchise either, to be honest with you, did we? It was expanding, that's all it was. It was expanding and making more money. Certainly didn't really need it. And it was always a strange one with me anyway, because Apollo died in 1985, which was nearly fucking 40 years ago. And I'm like, how can he have a son? Doesn't make any sense. But who's young enough to box, but I mean, he's clearly going to be in his early 30s, you know.
Maybe do things with timeline and say it's early 2000s or something. I don't to make it fit. But Stephen, I mean, with Creed, I suppose I try to keep this whole boxing franchise going, because there's not a huge amount of boxing movies getting done, period. And the few ones we do see are usually more drama-driven, Oscar-baiting types, The Fighter, things like that. The one you watched, I think it was about the South American boxer who had some issue with his neck or head. I think he got injured. He had to have this head brace on, and then he fights back. They're more drama-driven, story-driven about real boxers, whereas with Rocky it's more fantasy, action. Yeah. You can go a little bit more deeper into the character, because it's not a real character.
More drama-driven than the rest of them. The sequels were all-out action, weren't they, really?
Yeah.
But the first one
one was a different beast.
But
and that gets back to what I said about IPs and selling them off, and the original people, the creators, losing the rights to them, and the quality dropping demonstrably.
Yeah.
Predator. What was the other one I said?
Terminator.
Was it Terminator? I think it was another one.
You didn't say that, John, but Terminator comes to mind.
Yeah, it does come to mind. That was just James Cameron stepping away. Friday the 13th.
I see your man, the director of that Terminator last one they did, I can't remember what it's called.
Something Miller?
Yeah.
Tim Miller?
Yeah, Tim Miller. Has regretted the film. Too late.
It's too late.
Fucking killed John Connor off. That was when it was too late.
Yeah, I mean,
A
that's just
ridiculous
ridiculous.
follow-up.
Why
from
did he even do that?
T2,
Even
yeah.
now, I still
It
can't
doesn't make any
understand.
sense. It's like
You-
kill the past, isn't it? It's one of those ones.
Yeah, you put him in the fucking movie and then you kill him within the first minute.
Yeah.
Why do it? Why even do that?
Yeah, we've even got Ed back. Said James, yeah.
Yeah, the Comic
really.
Con. I remember that
Yeah.
because I was excited.
And, well, I wasn't too that bothered about the film. Then when I heard his comments, I went, "Oh, I want to see that now."
And then I heard before he even entered the theatre that he'd been killed in the first shots of the movie. I'm like, right, that's me. I'm not watching it.
It's done.
And
Doesn't exist.
I did eventually watch it, and it was shit.
Yeah.
It was a really, really poor movie. It was like everything about it was a poor man's T2, Judgment Day. A poor man's Robert Patrick playing the villain.
Yeah.
A poor man's John Connor. A poor woman's John Connor
Yeah.
playing the heroic thing. You've got Arnie in there. He's a fucking upholsterer. Carl. That's what his name was. Carl. And he was probably the best thing in the movie, and it was purely comedic.
Linda Hamilton was good as well, to be fair. She wasn't all out Jamie Lee Curtis from Halloween Kills.
No.
That ridiculous.
Burn him, let him burn!
John, Bleed for This. That was the film you were referring
Bleed
to.
for This,
I
yeah.
reviewed it as well. It was a very enjoyable film with Miles Teller and Aaron Eklund. Very interesting story as well. All about recuperation and a comeback, an incredible comeback, based on a true story, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. But Stephen, the boxing
like you
movies
said,
are always
yeah,
good. We've
yeah.
watched Sapata Parambarai from
Oh, that was
Indian
amazing, John.
subcontinent.
Yeah, I loved that.
So I have got a sort of, try to think of the word I'm looking for, a guilty pleasure for, that's not a word, that's a saying,
Yeah.
for a good
Yeah.
boxing movie. I do enjoy them, and there's not enough getting made,
I
so I
do
wouldn't be adverse
I
to.
do enjoy it more than actual real boxing.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't mind
Yeah.
real boxing, but take it or leave it. It's usually the bigger fights.
Yeah.
I'm not really a fan of seeing average guys getting their heads beaten to a pulp. I'd like to see the actual proper boxers that actually try not to get hit
Yeah.
and make sort of a contest of it and its technical ability. Not these mouthpiece YouTubers that flip-flop all over the place. Fucking idiots
Yeah.
with terrible haircuts.
Yep.
And I've got no hair and I can still see you've got a terrible haircut. Who are you trying to kid me? Your hair is fucking gone. Gimps like that I have no time for.
Is that
And
the
the sooner
brothers
they
you're
get
talking
slapped about, the
Yeah.
better. I say he.
Yeah.
I've actually took a bit of shine into the older one. He's still a bit more educated. Still a dick,
Yeah.
but slightly more likeable. And at least he's maturing. The other one,
Well, John, the question's got to be
Yeah.
said. I've got to ask you this. Do you want to see a Drago spin-off?
it would depend on who's in board, Stephen. It would depend on if they've got the right writing team. The story's there. It's compelling enough and it deserves to be made.
Do you think
You
it's
don't
something that
just
could
make
work better as a
something-
television series on Apple or something like that?
I don't know. Don't
Rather
know.
than a film, a one
This
and done?
mic is just got a mind of its own. Fucking hell, man. I think we've got a poltergeist in here. Maybe we can make a spin-off horror movie from Friday the 13th or something like that. And it's the mic that's trying to kill us. I don't know, man. At TV with this, I don't know, Stephen. It just reeks of Hallmark, doesn't it? Doesn't it? It's like
Movies for men.
It's like Grandpa TV. I don't think.
Hallmark.
I just don't think
Wow.
it would work in TV. I think this, to make this compelling, it's either going to be a surprise hit, it reaches a streaming service, or it's going to be a wide release and it gets mild to decent return.
I never thought I'd see Drago and Hallmark in the same sentence.
Well, he's older now,
Yeah.
Dolph. He looks brilliant for his age.
He does, yeah.
He's got better hair than me, but I don't know how relevant is Dolph these days. The last
John,
time
how
I recall him
relevant is
being really relevant, expendable movies aside,
Yeah, I know.
it was probably Ted. It was
Yeah.
Ted. Was that the name of it? The little teddy bear thing with Mark
Yeah.
Wahlberg.
Yeah.
He was a huge fan of the Flash. I think it was. I think Dolph was in that, and it was the Flash theme tune. Dun 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 dun, and he meets him at the party.
Yeah.
That's the last time I really thought. There's Dolph
Yeah,
Lundgren.
that's a good point in terms of the actor, but the character as well.
The son. I mean,
is-
didn't he look like him?
No, well, John, when I see that, it always reminds me of Die Hard 5, John McClane's son. It was Jai Courtney, I think, that played him. They don't fucking look the same.
I've not
And
seen
I
that.
was like, nah, that's terrible idea. And I just don't think it was necessary to put him in Creed
Took
2
the
either.
mother's genes, clearly.
Yeah, and also they had, was it Bridget Nielsen?
Bridget Nielsen.
She was married to Stallone, the big
Oh, was
blonde
she?
lady.
Oh,
I was
yeah,
about to call her Leslie Nielsen.
Leslie Nielsen.
Yeah.
Airplane. Oh, for fuck's sake. You imagine him in a
Oh.
dress? Oh, being the wife of Stallone.
Funnily enough, she was more manly than him. But you know, she was in it as well, and obviously she ditched him after the events of Rocky IV. It was just drama stuff. It was like, do we really need to know this kind of thing? And I'm kind of going in that sort of direction with a possible spin-off. Do we really need this? I don't think.
If we get it, then it's probably more exploring the relationship between the father and the son.
Yeah.
His eyes that he's not got the minerals that he had, and he's pushing him. It's almost like what you would get in the Williams sisters, the father biopic, where it says tough taskmaster, pushing them all the way.
Yeah.
It'd be that sort of relationship. And you could even explore it as a prequel building up to the conflict with Creed.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the way you could do it.
John,
Maybe
that's one of the things
post.
I always loved about Stallone's decision not to do that with the Robert character, Rocky Jr., was to push him into boxing in that sense. You know, the strange relationship. Robert was more like his mother, you know, wanted a safer life, a quieter life, away from the sort of limelight kind of thing. And I thought that was a great choice, because the obvious choice would be to follow in the footsteps. They kind of hinted in Rocky V, but by all accounts, Stallone doesn't regard that as even part of canon anymore.
No wonder.
And you know, I think that was a great choice. But this would be the total opposite. What you're suggesting?
What was the guy that played Rocky Jr.? Milo Ventimiglia.
Yeah, good actor.
Always enjoyed that. The Art of Driving in the Rain.
Yeah, he's a fantastic actor.
Yeah, he's really good.
Yeah.
And he understated.
Yeah,
in the Rocky.
Yeah.
It was his actual son. It was in Balboa.
Yep.
And then it was Milos who was in Creed.
Yeah. No, sorry.
Was it the opposite?
No, Milos was in Balboa.
Oh, yeah.
Rocky V was his actual son, the Sage, that sadly passed away. Yeah, he was great. He was fantastic.
He was. He's good. Stephen, I love the Rocky movies. I grew up watching them. Obviously, I wasn't actually watching them when they came out, because they came out about fucking, I don't know, man,
well,
10 years before I was born or something.
By Rocky V, John, that was 1990. So
I was like 1.
Yeah.
So I mean, it kind of passed me by in that sense, but I watched them as a kid in the 90s, and they were always epic, rewatchable movies, really interesting writing and characters. As you say, the first one more drama driven, proper movie.
Yeah.
The other ones, it was ever diminishing returns for me. Silly, boisterous characters coming in. I'd actually say the first one aside, maybe the second one, because it's the reinitiation of this sort of battle with Creed, Apollo and Rocky.
Yep.
That aside, I actually think 4 with Lundgren, Ivan Drago is probably the best Rocky movie out of those two. I think it's clearly 1, then 2, and then I think it's 4. So I wouldn't be.
It was a bit.
It was Clubber Lang, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Was that not? He was like,
also with Thunderlips in it, Hulk Hogan, which was unnecessary. You know, it was just
was
like
he retired or something in the Clubber Lang one. Did they not announce his retirement? Because Lemmy
he retired when they revealed his statue, and then Clubber Lang wanted a go at him and was trying to goad him into a fight. Mickey died, so Rocky wasn't in a good state of mind to take him on. Lost the title, and then get trained by Apollo. Changed his way of style boxing.
I remember that, because they ran on the beach.
I mean, it was actually pretty good to be fair.
Did they run on the beach?
Yeah, the two of them.
Because he was fighting him,
and
he was shouting at him.
Yeah.
Did they not? But was he not beating him up? And he's like, "Come on, you're not trying."
Yep, that's right. Yeah,
and
it was actually not a bad film.
Yeah,
it's about but if you're comparing them against each other, you're absolutely right. 1, 2, 4, 3. And don't count 5. Rocky Balboa, the actual
Balboa's better.
Balboa's an amazing film, John. I really enjoyed that.
The street fighting moment at the end of 5's not horrendous though, but the movie is.
Yeah,
it's just fucking ridiculous, though, isn't it? That's not even how it works.
No.
Professional boxers, it's an art.
Yeah.
The art of fighting. There's a code. The warrior code, as Eubank likes to say. The warrior code. Chris Eubank, warrior code. I can't do him.
That was like the Emperor there.
I can't do him, man. I can't.
Take it over.
Sometimes I like to try and do Chris Eubanks Jr. I can't do it. I can't do his cake. £20,000 in education lessons. Junior, the warrior code. But there's a code. They don't fight in the street. That's not what professional boxers do.
I think they were trying to do something different, weren't they? And
they fight in the ring, and they're disciplined to stop them fighting in the street. That's the whole point. It was the
way they went from the sort of rag to riches to rags again as well, when it's just
fucking
like a click of a thing. It was terrible. Yeah. Well, it's exactly like one Fools and Horses. It just wasn't realistic. I know. It's just it was larger than life, if you like.
Yeah, they took it too far. Hello, Parv.
Hi, Parv.
I think it's going to be a hello and goodbye, because we're coming to the end here.
Yeah, we've kind of exhausted this topic of conversation.
I'm absolutely stunned it's lasted 27 minutes, to be honest with you. As interesting as the subject was to us, big Rocky fans.
Yeah.
fans of Dolph.
Boxing films we were
Boxing films.
talking about, yeah.
I mean, look, Dolph will always have a close place in my heart. I can't even speak English. That's me only drinking half of the 8% Carmelite Triple lager. It's not lager, it's a Trappist Belgian beer. I'll try and reword that. Dolph has always had a close place in my heart because he looks so much like one of my all-time favourite central defensive football players who ever graced Scottish football. He was like a brother from another mother with him. I loved that guy tremendously, so for me he's always going to have a special place in my heart. But I don't think I want this to happen, sadly.
No, definitely not.
I just don't think the son is a compelling enough character. I don't think the actor looks anything like Dolph. That aside, he's not even really an actor. I think he's an actual fighter who was brought on board.
Yeah.
And it's just not Rocky. I'm contradicting myself probably because at the start I'd say that Sly doesn't own the rights to it. It's not really his choice anymore. But when you think about it more and more, Rocky's Rocky, the expanded universe. It has to connect to Rocky.
Where are they going to draw the line? I mean, are we going to have a prequel with Adrian, how she got the job in the pet shop in the 1970s?
She's very quiet though, wasn't she? She's quieter than a mouse.
Very shy, yeah.
Beep bum 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 bum. What's it says? Do you know what say something? It goes like this. Bum bum beep bum bum bum. Something like that, wasn't it?
What was this?
Fucking Rocky with Adrian.
Ba 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 ba.
Ba 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 ba. They're lying in the bed.
That's right.
Ba 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 ba.
Oh, how did you remember that?
Oh, it was Lemmy.
All right,
Oh,
okay.
it's Lemmy. Yeah.
Do. No, do.
Do 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 do.
That's
It was
right
like
up Lemmy's street. That I know why you would pick
It was
that.
like Joey
Yeah.
from Friends trying to speak French. Je m'appelle Joey. Je petit pépite poupin. What? It's not fucking French. It's so fucking easy, mate.
Oh wow.
That's basic shit. Je m'appelle Bibi Papa. No, Joey. No. But yeah, she was quieter than a mouse.
Yeah.
No TV show for Adrian.
No, Yo Adrian. You could call it that. Yo Adrian. There you
Yo Adrian, yeah. Look, after Creed 3, I want it to be dead. The franchise has to die. It's had its time. Rocky.
If it dies,
we're doing a Rocky prequel. What the fuck can we do with that?
nah,
What do we do with that, man?
I mind talking about a Die Hard prequel as well, man.
Yeah.
Nah, put that to bed.
Why?
Put it to bed.
He only became relevant, McLean, when he went into
The
Nakatomi building
Yeah.
and had his little sparring session with the great Hans Gruber.
Yeah.
Don't care about him before that, and I don't care about him after it.
Well,
Realistically.
maybe 2 sequels after that.
Nah, for me, it was all about Gruber.
Yeah.
I mean, what was it? There was a second Gruber, to be fair.
Yeah,
wasn't
Simon,
there?
yeah.
Yeah, Simon.
Gruber, yeah.
It was
Simple Simon said to a pieman.
Simple Simon said to a pieman. Jeremy Irons is
Didn't
Brit.
mind it. It was-
as Brit can be.
that
speaking
film was
German.
Good because of Samuel Jackson. That's how it was good. But no, I
Just
think
didn't get any biter. Schnell.
I think, no, exactly. It was Die Hard
Russians.
light. That's basically what it was.
And the ultimate irony, where I will finish off in this strange conversation we've had as we near the end, is it always confused me. Dolph, a man from Scandinavia playing a Russian, and you speak of Die Hard, you had Russians playing Germans.
Yeah. And an Englishman.
And
Playing
an
a German,
Englishman
yeah.
playing a German. Didn't make any fucking sense to me.
Yeah.
What was going mad?
Yeah.
But I suppose we're all brothers and sisters after all, aren't we?
Yeah.
If you watch a lot of Chris Martin, it's strange I've been doing recently. I've been getting recommended videos.
Chris Martin.
Chris Martin from Coldplay.
Yeah.
During the pandemic,
Bloody hell's he doing here in a factory in Wigan? It's mental.
doing recordings at home, and he made some remark. Oh, Scotland, we're brothers, although we're all brothers, aren't we? I'm like, okay, Chris.
Whatever.
Fuck. I mean, I love you, and you're right technically, but come on, stop being a fucking Mother Teresa.
Yeah, you drip.
No, listen, look, joking aside, we don't want it to happen, plain and
No.
simple. I don't know what anybody else coming in thinks, because I'm going to pass it over to you now. Do you want to see Dolph Lundgren coming back with, what's his name? Wait for it.
Ivan Drago.
The son, the actor, what's his name?
Baby Drago.
Baby Drago.
Can't remember his name.
I can't. Florian Montinou.
Oh, right, okay.
Montinou.
Yeah,
A Romanian playing a Russian.
So it's going to be him? They're talking about him being
bringing
the actor,
him back
yeah.
with
Okay.
father and son duo. Would you like to see that happen? Would you like to see a TV show, maybe a movie, a project in general? Can you understand Sly Stallone's issues with this? His remarks his butt-hotted exterior towards Dolph Lundgren. I'm going to take that Kong off him in a minute. I think he's going to die tonight if I don't. At the hands of a Kong, not me, I have to stress. It's going to beat him. Comment down below if you've got anything to say about that, or conversations in general. Like the video if you've enjoyed it, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon on YouTube, hit the follow button and the notification thing over on Twitch as well for the exact same reason to see us over there. Regardless of what you do though, thank you for watching us through this, and until the next time, me and Stephen are done. Bye bye.